Hey everybody, it's Commander Cloud. Welcome back to another patch notes update video. Today we're looking at Grim Omens update 7.3 for Smite. Got the new Hu Yi skin on the front page here. And as we go down here, the skins, real quick, I'm not going to spend much time on those. And there's the Hu Yi skin. We go down to the fun stuff, release schedule. There you go. New event, Grim Omens. A new event begins in Smite that will follow the story of the next two god releases. Dark times are approaching in the Smite universe as Yggdrasil withers away from Persephone's failed plan. Mulan is determined to help humanity in any way she can. She will encounter friends and enemies as she uncovers the truth about the signs that signal the terrifying events that will soon unfold. Can Mulan persevere through the Grim Omens? Bio option will be available for the event. Players automatically receive Grim Omens items as they are released if they choose. There will be 4 chapters in the Grim Omens event, and each chapter will have an event associated with it. There will be 6 items, 5 skins, and a cosmetic bundle in each chapter's quest. The base price to roll a chapter's chest is 400 gems. There will be an initial discount of 20% for each Grim Omens release for each chapter. The discount will be 320 gems per roll instead of 400. Direct person. This really just tells you what you can unlock and how. That's kind of boring. I think we get the point. Anyway, here's the big ticket item. The final event reward on unlimited totem color Hu Yi by unlocking all 24 items from the event. There will be 8 Grim Omens quests total, 2 quests per chapter. Chapter's quests are unlocked after a purchase for an item in that chapter. Quests reward 50 gems each for a total of 400 gems. A couple of Project Olympus things that don't necessarily do anything. They added the SPL rosters to the info tab. Cool. Bugfixes. Fixed an issue where the speed buff on certain maps will display the bonus as 15%. Jungle practice towers on this map will now reveal stealth units like they do on other maps. UI fixed an issue where players would be unable to invite party members because of an error about them being invited recently. Also reduced party invite lockout time for when this is working in intended scenarios. Fixed an issue where the party menu where the kick option would appear on players who weren't in your party. Fixed an issue where invalid accounts links between Twitch and Smite. Data-driven auto-buy and recommended items addressed an issue that was causing some gods to be recommended builds without boots. Epic. Gods and items vision shard fixed an issue where auto-buy and AI bots are not upgrading vision shard to another relic. Mulan fixed an issue where Mulan's sword could disappear when using emotes in a certain order. This god fixed an issue where the particle effects on the 3rd hit of her basic attack chain were not the correct size. Skin bugs. Charmcaster Morgan adjusted audio on multiple abilities for better gameplay. Clarity. Gravehound Anubis. Man, that's an old skin. Fixed an issue where audio on his ability 3 had stopped playing. We still have bugs on skins this old. Announcer packs. Weekend announce pack volumes have been increased. Ranked. With 7.3 comes a new split. Following our new approach for ranked in Season 7, we are adjusting players' variance rating and not their direct MMR, which is bad. This game, I think, when you're going to do something new, I feel like you need a complete reset of the system, which they didn't do. So games were still in a similar state, carrying over from the last split as they were in that split, so I don't know that it's worked unless you do a hard reset. Preserving MMR allows for strong matches at the start of the split. Variance resetting will allow for players to move more quickly. The results in similarly intense matches while letting players MMR value more rapidly. Feel you belong gold but are stuck in silver. Here's your chance to prove it. be careful, this works in the reverse as well. Focus up and try your best to earn MMR. See, the problem is you still get bad games anyway, which will put you in silver even if you should be in gold. Just to quote them here. You could be better than everyone you get matched with, but it doesn't matter because you won't win. So it's weird unless you're already at a higher rank. If you're at Diamond or Masters, this doesn't really affect you a whole lot. It affects you more the lower your rank is, because it's harder to actually get out of lower ranks. Anyway, this approach allowed the start of Season 7 to establish a healthy matchmaking curve quickly using previous data. I disagree as a strong starting point. Players quickly found their MMR values and had healthier matches along the way. And part of I disagree is there's still high value from duo queuing, which shouldn't exist, but you know, they're never going to make it a pure ranked system where you don't decide who you get to play with. Continue to expect the matchmaker to really refine its understanding of each player's skill level over the coming splits. We do, however, strive to find improvements to address concerns that arise. Variance reset has shown many positives, but the initial strength of the reset felt too swingy. Oh boy, did it. Lowering the variance reset amount will help with this. We also saw player concerns about players painting masters and then not trying as much due to the demotion not being penalty masters. Players can now demote out of masters. If you want to keep this illustrious title, which really doesn't mean a whole lot, reserved for only the top players, you have to work to keep it. Good luck. The split will feature soft variance reset for players below 37%. Variance will be reset to that amount. God leaderboards are not reset, rather will be reset at mid-season. Earn some diamond borders. You're going to show off your stuff with your favorite gods, and MMR is not reset. Fun stuff. Bonus balance. First tier blink rune. Increase cooldown from 120 to 140 seconds. Decrease range from 55 to 45. They thought it was too easy to catch people out with this, so they're nerfing it a little bit. So it's less of a threat. Cooldown at the upgraded will be the normal 120 seconds. Range will still be 45. They just want to make it a little harder to pick someone off with that item. I think it's fair for the most part. There are certain scenarios where it hurts some supports who used it aggressively, but I think this is a nerf directed more at warriors and assassins. Mace decrease cost from 700 to 650. All tier 2 and tier 3 items building from this will remain the same total. Get you that early power just a little bit easier. Core, Shoes of the Magi, added 8% lifesteal, added 100 mana. They figured out that people weren't really buying this item without the cooldown. Or without the pin on it. So add more stats to make it more fun. Which this is a slight buff to Typhon's Fang as well, because you have more lifesteal in the core of the build. Transcendence base no longer provides 10% cooldown reduction, now provides 10% cooldown when fully evolved. Because the basic idea is became core of a lot of builds, so a little bit overstated to get instant CDR for an item that's designed to have a later impact. Anyway, Kukulkan. It's been really good. Decreased power gain from mana from 5 to 4%. The Spirit of the Nine Winds increased cooldown from 70 to 90 seconds. These are all fair. So he already gets bonus power and make it less effective. And make the big ultimate on a longer cooldown, which fits in line with other mages. 70-second base cooldown on that was kind of silly. Way too much pressure and objective secure. Free kills against your opponent when they can't counter you because their cooldown is going to be longer anyway. Then more balance. Nemesis. Slice and dice. Decrease cooldown from 13 to 11 seconds. God's underpick, so you know, slice and dice reduce the cooldown. It's core ability of her kid, so a little bit more useful. Okay. Odin Raven shout. Decrease physical power scaling of shield health from 60 to 50%. Gungnir's might decrease physical power scaling from Gungnir throw damage from 60 to 50%. Ring of Spears increase cooldown from 75 to 90 seconds. Because he does too many things now and he's too good across the board nerfs. In fact, that Ring of Spears is really simple. I don't really have to do anything ability. You press 4 and it does everything for you. Which is a little bit unfair. By the way, this is bonus balance, so this should be out sooner. Yeah, March 10th is when this is live, so this Tuesday. Vamana Colossal Fury. This ability now provides 3% movement speed per stack on successful hidden stacks up to 5 times. Changed from 5% in 3 stacks. That's not really the problem. The shield regen's kind of stupid. And that probably needs to get toned down. The movement speed is fine, because that doesn't change how you're already playing him. Hopefully you guys don't hear that coughing. I'm trying to turn my mic down when that happens. Alright, and then 7.3 balance. Live with the main update. March 24th. Mage's Blessing increased magical power from 20 to 30. Mage's Blessing at the top level is often ignored in favor of more successful aggressive starts on early stacking items. It's usually in favor of an aggressive start with like Chrono Spend. I haven't seen that many people stacking. We want to ensure that building a blessing is at least a solid choice for its role, and increasing magical power should do just that. I was still building this anyway, because I like the mana regen and the extra ability damage, which is very slight, but it's noticeable on some gods. But that's a fair change because it's not getting picked up. Enchanted Ring, increased cost from 1100 to 1300. All tier 3 items will remain the same cost. Increased power from 40 to 55. I don't know what this is. This is not a buff or a nerf. Yes, it's just a consistency change. Devil Gloves, increased base physical lifesteal from 10 to 15%. Ghost has been slowly phased out in favor of trans rushes or blood forge rushes. So, not going to read the rest. It's a pretty simple idea. Other starts were more favorable, so buff the item that's not getting used. Aphrodite Kiss reduced cooldown from 16 to 12 to 14 to 12 seconds. Lovebirds now has an initial hit of 15 up to 55 plus 15%. Aphrodite brings strong utility and allows Hyper Carry to play much more aggressively than normally possible. While a strong strength to have, Aphrodite players don't feel that strength as directly, and also makes her more team composition dependent. We are reducing the cooldown on Kiss early and giving Lovebirds an initial hit. These changes will give her better utility and damage for herself, and will give Lovebirds better feedback as to when an enemy is hit. Cerberus. Increase HP per level from 86 to 95. Makes him better for his aggression. Simple. If you want new quality of life, remove the camera lock on the ability, so you can move it around while you're using it. Whatever. Not really a big thing. It's cool. It's cool if you play log 1, which I do. Merlin and Dragonfire decrease magical power scaling from damage per tick to 25 to 20. Decrease magical power scaling, damage per hit from 20% to 15 on elemental mastery. Merlin's mastery over magic has been felt by many players, giving validity to his claim of being a master wizard. His fire stance in particular can melt enemies who are caught out, a reduction to dragonfire, and his elemental mastery scaling will increase the situations he can destroy the enemy with little chance to fight back. Clay soldiers are integral to Manoa, really bringing burst to a fight. The lack of scaling movement speed and the long cooldown, however, really limited her damage capability and her overall reliability. By boosting these, we expect Manoa players to have more control over landing her full combo. Clay soldiers increase base movement speed from 365 to 365 up to 425. Decrease cooldown from 18 to 16 seconds. I feel like that's a big buff, kind of. Because those guys always felt slow, and now you give them extra movement speed, plus they do that little dash when they're near a target. Run, the ruler of the heavens, often sees his rank cut short, struggling to succeed in the early game and having a late game that didn't compensate for that weakness. I think that really depended on how you played him. Focus, Light, and Consecration are his core clear and self-peel abilities. Improving these will allow him more success in the early game. Touch of Fate is getting a bump, giving him a more rewarding late game for both his enhance and improved Focus, Light. Okay, sorry about that. My throat is really dry right now. Touch of Fate increased Alvaro's critical hits from 50%, increased damage to 60%. Focus Light increased damage from 100 to 280 to 110 to 290. It's not very big. Consecration increased slow. That's almost enough for him to protect himself, or since that's really his only self-peel. I guess the ult is self-peel, but you can play around that. Persephone is getting a sweeping list of changes to allow her players to better show their skill with Harvest while reducing her ultimate ability's effectiveness when blindly thrown in an enemy team. I mean, I think it does take big skill to use her kit right, more so than what I think these changes are gonna do. So the changes honestly make it easier to play her. Harvest will see a reduction in mechanical clunk and a quicker growth time. Additionally, her Harvest Flower will now run the same distance, but in a shorter time, giving opponents a smaller window to juke the plant's bite. Finally, her ultimate will now be more escapable when trapped alone and will take longer to grab onto enemies as they try to flee its grasp. Harvest. Decrease pre-fire time on this ability from 0.2 to 0.1 seconds. Decrease minimum distance between harvest placements from 5 units to 2.5. Sprout. Decrease time the base harvest plant takes to evolve into a sprout from 4 to 2.5 seconds. Flower. Decrease the time the base harvest plant takes to evolve into a flower from 24 to 16 seconds. Decrease chase time from 3 seconds to 2.2. And increase movement speed from 40 to 600. These are all big nerfs for her laning phase, because that's up faster, so you can get lane pressure much easier with this lower time, which means it also feels less punishing to put them out and use them in other situations because it doesn't take nearly as long to get it up. These are kind of significant buffs, and I don't know why they're doing this to a god that still has a high ban rate. Within Grasp of Death. Decrease speed at which a tether will reach to grab you by 50%. Decrease attack speed penalty from 20 to 30% to 15% at all ranks. So that's nerfed at least, but much else. Sobek's previously bullied in the soul lane with Guardian's Blessing, making it difficult to truly buff him as a support. And previously bullied the soul lane with Guardian's Blessing, actually. I don't know, in my experience, if that's really, if he's really that much of a bully. Now that Guardian's Blessing has protections against use in the soul way, we are bringing strength back to the God of the Nile. Increase HP per level from 86 to 95. That's kind of big. Increase healing per hit from 20 to 60 to 30 to 70. Rank 1 gets a 50% increase in the healing. That's a lot because, what is it? Is it a max of 3 hits you heal on? I don't remember. So instead of getting 60, rank 1 you get 90. This is a strong buff. Anyway, Soul is seeing a variety of feels and changes that will make her smoother to play. Unstable manifestation, heat decay was rapid, punishing Soul heavily for being out of combat for even a second. We're slowing this decay down to give more wiggle room for any ability activation and picking fights. Radiance will no longer push back minions, making it easier to use as a clear tool. Finally, Supernova will now deploy more quickly and provide a large burst of heat. Supernova will be more impactful both in its immediate effect and giving a second way to quickly build heat when needed. Soul is really heating things up. Wow, great writing, guys. I almost didn't roll my eyes. Unstable manifestation. Manifestation. Don't say that word fast. It's kind of tough. Soul loses heat less fast once heat starts its decay. Soul loses heat slower once heat starts its decay. Can we say that instead of less fast? That just sounds goofy. Decay speed reduced by 25%. Radiance, the damage from this ability no longer causes minion hit reactions. Supernova, time between shots decreased from 0.24 to 0.18 seconds. Increase the heat gain firing this ability from 10 to 40. You only got 10 for an ultimate. Okay. Xing Qian. Since Xing Qian's Project Olympus patch that ironed out many issues and bugs that he had, he has surged into popularity as a top competitive support. He brings strong aggression and crowd control to any team. We are decreasing some of the extra damage from Sky Cutting Axe and the late game control of Hook Slam, keeping him in a strong position, but letting other supports compete more directly. Hook Slam, decreased duration of root from 1 to 2 seconds to 1 to 1.4 seconds. Big time decrease. Sky Cutting Axe, decreased damage from 65 to 145 to 60 to 140. Not so big. It's much less noticeable because he's only losing 10 damage overall for that. That's a big top end nerf for that ability, but that's fair because it already has a knock up CC with a root at the end, so your total CC is about 2 seconds, when here it was like 2.5, which is just silly. March 6th changes. Apparently they just Persephone down, which I guess those buffs were slightly more fair. Scaling down across the board, decreased base damage of grasp of depth from 185 to 495 to 175 to 455. And that's going to do it for the patch notes today, everybody. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Keep on lookout for those changes. Be ready. Test everything. It'll be a big deal. We'll see how ranked goes after this split. Hopefully it'll be a little better. So, like and subscribe, guys, if you enjoyed that. Leave a comment down below if you want. As always, check the help links down in the description. I'll see you guys later for some more Smite. Have a good one.